So I was sitting down, all ready to start this video, and then a giant wasp was in my bedroom, flying around. I needed to catch it, I needed to dispose of it, and now I'm feeling like flustered because I just really, really hate wasps. I just hate them. They're just evil little stupid creatures, and I sat on one last summer and it stung me like 5 times, and that was the first time I've ever been stung, and it sucked because it was right on my butt and I was on fire. Anyway, if you saw the title of this video, it has nothing to do with wasps stinging my butt. It has to do with annotating books. I recently saw basically Brit do this a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I really want to do that, and she was like, you should. So you know what? Here I am. I'm doing this video. And it's funny because I have the same book that she used as a reference, only because it's like my most tabbed book, and then the other one I have is The Way of Kings, which is I'm not quite finished reading it yet, but a really good example as well. So anyway, you'll notice right off the bat, the tabs are a little bit different because I was running out when I was tabbing up this one, and then once the new ones came in, I just continued to cut them in half. And also, I just have so many in here that I figured I'm gonna just, throughout the series, I'm gonna keep cutting these. I actually have some here. They're like little half-sized ones because the lines are so tiny anyway, so I'm just gonna keep going through with that. I didn't do it with this one because I was way too lazy, so we'll just see what happens in the future. But as far as these ones go, I've just been using like the half. I've just been cutting the flags in half because I was running out, and that's how it started. What you will notice that's a little bit different is I have sticky tabs in here, and then I also have at the ends of not every single chapter or perspective, whatever you want to call them, but at a lot of them I do have colored sticky notes where I will just make a note at the end of the chapter, kind of just my thoughts on the chapter. I'm a pretty emotional reader, so a lot of these things are either like I loved this part, I hated this part made me sad. So just going through here, I have the hot pink, which, I couldn't replace these. These are from high school. I found them in a drawer, and so these guys are gonna run out soon, and I have backups, but they're different. So anyway, I have red, green, and orange, and throughout here, all of the orange are bad things, all of the pink are great things, and all of the green are like foreshadow moments and stuff. Especially on the reread, you're like, whoa, this made sense later, or like sometimes I still have questions because I haven't read it in so long. So that's what I have there. But like, for instance, what's this one? Oh, in this part I get mad, and this isn't like a spoiler, but there's like, everybody who knows Ned knows that sometimes Ned's honor like gets in the way, and so like I was mad at this particular chapter, and I'm just like, Ned, why are you being like this? Why can't you just be dishonorable for like one time or whatever? And I like got all peeved at him. But that's essentially what those are for. And then in the back, which you'll notice a similarity, I do keep a whole bunch of sticky notes in the back. The color of these ones has no rhyme or reason at all. It's just the first couple tabs are just quotes for the most part, and just like general thoughts as I'm reading, like, oh, I love this character in this part, da-da-da-da-da, just like little notes to put down. But then underneath that, I have like big events, so deaths, wars, people taking sides, just different things. I didn't quite feel like I made way more notes on that in this one than I did in this one. And then the pink tab at the back is just kind of like a general review of what I thought of the book for like talking purposes. And then in this one, it's a similar kind of system, except I'm gonna go on a little rant for a minute. I bought a stack of notes, and they were supposed to be blue, green, orange, and pink, and they came blue, green, weird pink, hot pink. So they're really hard to tell the difference in the book. I don't know if I was hoping to have 4 colors so I could be like more in depth, but I may just have to switch out the orange tabs for blue, even though I hate that, but it's fine. It's fine. I will survive. You can see in the back of this one, I did the same thing. I have, although with this one, because there are so many characters, I have all of the characters written down, character traits, where they're from, all that stuff, because there's just so much information to absorb. Sometimes it's easy to go back and like you can remember what they looked like and yada yada yada. And then under here is where all here I have all the quotes that I enjoy, and then all the big events, which I actually have 2 sticky notes worth, because there's just so much that happens that I'm like, man, I'm gonna want to remember that later, or for the next book if I need to go back and like look for something for clarification or whatever, I have that there. And then I have a pros and cons list, which I put in a lot of my books now, even just not really long ones. I will put a pro and cons list at the back just so I can write down thoughts as I'm reading. I've yet to write down a con for this book, so that's pretty awesome. I just like, there's just nothing wrong with it for me, at least not yet. We'll see how I feel at the end, but I'm just loving it. So now that I've gone through all of like my actual sticky notes for the most part, I did for Way of Kings, I'm using just the 3 colors for now, and it's just, that's how it's gonna have to be. Blue is for things I didn't like or sad things, green is like plot points, and pink is for like scenes that I loved, things that I loved, relationships, like friendships, stuff like that. And I just stuck them all like this so that I didn't have to bring scissors outside and be like a weirdo cutting papers in the backyard. So getting on to the actual tabs, I have a ton. I get these off of AliExpress. It's the cheapest way for me to get them, but I buy them in bulk. I bought like, I don't know, 10 or something, because I go through them really fast, especially reading huge books like this, but also they take like 2 months to deliver. So that's why I have I have more. I have more here. Also, I don't like any of them to stick out further than others. I always put them at the same distance off the edge of the page. I don't know why, I just like it like that. Okay, let's get into the actual tabs. So for blue tabs, and I kind of have a legend written, but I don't have the actual tabs in there. But essentially the blue tabs are for like if somebody dies that I loved. So the blue is for like sad things and like just things that make my heart hurt, because like I said, I'm kind of an emotional reader, so a lot of the tabs are like my emotions throughout the book, more so than just plot points and stuff, if that makes sense. The green I use, as I just said, I don't really do plot points. I matched the green to the green papers. So these are quotes and also plot points if I'm not using a post-it. So quotes and plots. And then yellow is like, yes, I'm so excited about this, or something that literally made me laugh out loud or giggle or like made me like feel really happy. Orange are for things that I either hate about the book, so sometimes this gets a little confusing. Either it's just characters that I hate doing things that I hate, or sometimes if it's a book that I'm not enjoying, I will use the orange to like point out specific things that I'm not enjoying about the book so I can remember them for later, or like specific examples to remember for later. And then pink is like whenever like warm and fuzzy moments happen. So like pink is happy cry and like blue is sad cry. The tabs are actually pretty easy to explain. I think ideally I would like a couple of extra tabs, but for some reason to get those ones here, all of those ones have like $2 shipping on like an 83-cent or $1.50 product. So I just like stick with my 5, and then I have extra stuff. I can also always get more post-its of different colors if I need to. The reason why I use these at the ends of chapters and the bottoms of pages is because I really, really hate covering up words. Like I feel like if I ever go to reread this, I don't want to have to be pulling sticky notes out and putting them back in as I'm reading, because then eventually they're gonna not stick anymore. So the way that I have them in here, where are you? So the way that I have them in here is the post-its are always like in a blank part of the page, or a lot of the stuff, if it's happening mid-chapter, I just put it at the very bottom of the page so that it's not actually blocking anything, and then I will just underline on the page where the thing is supposed to be. And that's where these come in. These I just got at Walmart. They are just big 0.5mm mechanical pencils. They were super cheap, but I did get this off of AliExpress when I ordered all of my sticky notes, and it's a sliding eraser because I always kill the tops of these, and so this is kind of nice to have. One thing to keep in mind with specifically mass markets, I notice it the worst, is if you press too hard with an eraser, you will literally take the words off the page. So just be careful. I never write in pen in my books. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I like pencil better. It's safer. And also, These pages in particular are so thin that if I try to use like a gel pen or something, it just goes right through, and ballpoint pens like will literally cut through the paper. So I think that's everything. I'm like trying to see if I missed anything. If there's anything that I missed, or if you have any questions, make sure you drop those down below. Definitely let me know what you thought of the video. If you want to check out Brit's video, because she does it a little bit different than I do, and her like tabs kind of mean different things, I will link her video down below if you want to go check that out. She's super sweet. I'm sure you guys probably already know about her, but definitely check out her video because she is just a joy to watch. She's so adorable. Anyway, that I think is all I have to say. While you're down there, if you leave me a comment, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss future notifications, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.